I love Jangkook. That is
보라
one of
씨.
it really suits me. You know, like Koreans, you usually eat hot soup and they're like, shiwane. I know that shiwane in my stomach. How
You
the warmth
do.
makes my stomach feel so good. Oh, shiwane. I always feel that way when I eat Jangkook.
Hi everyone. I am especially excited to have my guest today, Deborah Mukwanda from Tanzania, who lives in Korea. So you already know my channel. We talk about stories from the in-between, people who live in maybe two different cultures, physically, psychologically, emotionally. What Deborah is truly living out that life in Seoul, Korea.
반갑습니다. 이런 귀한 팟캐스트 함께 나눌 수 있어서 너무 신나요.
감사합니다. 한국에 산지 몇 년 됐어요?
제가 사실은 한국 처음에 왔을 때 2009년이었어요. 그래서 제가 유학생으로 한국 처음으로 오게 됐고, 그래서 그때 한국어를 공부하고 또 이제 살면서 많이 배웠죠.
유학생으로. 근데 탄자니아에서 어떻게 한국을 오겠다 생각을 했어요?
대부분 아프리카 사람들 그 당시에 유학하고 싶었는데 유학하면 주로 미국이나 캐나다, 뭐 영국 그렇게 그래서 제가 그때 좀 남들이 가지 않은 곳 그리고 한국 분들이 많았을 때 한국어 되게 흥미로운 언어라고 생각했고 제가 그때 새로운 언어 문화 배우는 거 되게 좋아해서 어릴 때는 프랑스어 배우다가 그래서 그냥 장난처럼 한국 유학하는 거 어떨까 뭐 이렇게 하다가 진짜로 유학하게 되는 기회 있었습니다.
한국 한번 가볼까 이러다가 진짜로 한국에 왔네요.
네네.
어떤
제가
일 하는지 조금
것을
소개시켜 줄 수 있어요?
네, 제가 현재 우리 탄자니아 대사관 이제 거기서 이제 홍보 담당하고 있습니다. Public Relation Officer 로 있습니다. 그리고 통번역도 하고 여러 가지 역할들을 맡고 있습니다.
Public Relations Officer이면은 are you promoting or teaching about Tanzania to Koreans? Is that what you do?
Yeah. So what we do, like, like we're promoting like culture diplomacy. It's more of diplomacy side, and
I see.
we have a lot of activities like bridging the two sides. Since I understand both the cultures so well, so I become like a bridge, and that's what diplomacy does. So you can say it as that, but also promoting Tanzanian culture to Korea as well as Korea, like give Tanzanians a better understanding about Korea to foster our cooperation and collaboration between the two sides.
What does that mean for you to be a bridge?
Being a bridge is like making harmony. Let's say, for example, Korea is very pali. It's a very quick society and very fast. And in my culture, we have a word called pole, which means slowly. And we have a lot of sayings that's saying like being too hasty or too pali is not good. Like haraka ina baraka. Haraka means pali in my language. Like being hasty has no blessings. Like being pali. And so the way I walk, everybody felt no more nirio. You're very slow. But I was like, why are they complaining? This is how we live. I've lived like this all of my life, and I learned.
Yeah.
And then I understood it. I felt it with my body and the way. And so whenever I meet people from different places and I'm like, oh, Korea, everything is really quickly. Pali, you have to be fast. You have to be quick. Yeah. And now it has become a part of me. Like, even when I went back home, sometimes I was like you go to a restaurant and the moment you sit, you're like, then you like place the old order, and then in few minutes your order is out. And you
Yeah.
eat, but when I went back home and like let's say it's a barbecue place, and Korea is very different. Like you do the barbecue, but for us, you go, they do it for you. It might take 30 to 40 minutes, and people are
Mm.
just happy. They will order drinks and start
Mm.
talking. And I was like, well, she can I was like, I didn't know myself. I was so sucked up in the Pali Pali Muna, some of my family and friends. And I was like the only one who was bothered by this time
Yeah.
is like, why do we have to wait? And I came to understand how Koreans felt about me at first, how I do things.
That's so funny. Pali pali.
Yes,
Yeah, we cannot get rid of it. You know, even in
yes.
America, people know pali pali because Koreans are like always on the rush. You know, like
Mm,
you said, when you go to a Korean restaurant, especially in Korea, as soon as you sit down, all that panchan starts coming, right?
yes, yes. And like people do
Wow.
ask, like they're amazed of how everything is organized in a very short time. And I
Yeah,
think that's one of the reason which brought like Korea to so much economic
that's right.
development, because
Yeah,
they really push make things to happen,
yeah,
and they make that
yeah,
they do. One of the advantage of Korea
yeah.
having pali pali, so you find
That's
everything
right.
is organized.
Yeah,
Mm,
very efficient,
mm,
right? So as an African, what is one thing
mm.
that it was so hard for you to grasp about Korea?
At first, actually, one of the things which really I didn't understand by people to people relations, because
Mm,
Korea's language has hierarchy. Like they will
mm.
always ask your age, and I was like, why is everybody asking my age
That's
at
the
that
first thing they
time?
ask, right?
Yeah,
몇
and I'm like,
년생이에요?
then they'll be like, oh, you're young, you're old, Luna,
Right,
Oni, or like
right.
Dongse, you could call
Uh-huh.
me Opa, call me Oni, and I was like, we cannot be friends. And I was like, the part of like friendship is based on the age. At
Yeah,
that time was really difficult for me to
right,
grasp.
right.
And I really came to understand later because of how the language is. Also, I felt like
Mm.
the concept of friendship is very different here.
Mm. How
Like,
is that?
because like back home, without regardless of the age gap or what, a person
Mm.
who you're close to, and you can open up, talk to them, hang out with them, they're your
Mm-hmm.
friends, people who you're close to. But
Mm.
here, even if you're close, that age, if you're Oni, Chinan Oni, you can be, I cannot call you Chingu. Like if you
Right,
say like
right.
Chingu, like a friend, it means like
Mm.
we are the same age.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if no matter how close we are, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
we share, like you always have that age thing, which is
Mm.
Oni is Oni, Oma is Oma, whatever, whoever, like that kind of ranking. And that was
Mm-hmm.
very different from
Mm.
like where I come from, because for us, let's say when we also have kind of a hierarchy system, like
Mm.
we respect the elders, and we even our greeting, we have a word called shkamo, like you greet your person who is older than you. But here, like if a person is already older than you, no matter how close you are, oh oppa,
Right.
oni, that is something which was very hard for me to grasp for a long time.
Yeah.
And I found some of the people, the especially people who are older, if you
Mm.
refer them as your friends, they're like a little bit upset. They're not happy
Right.
with you.
Yeah.
But I understood, because the essence of the language, because how you address the person here really matters with the chondemal, panmal.
Yeah.
So when I was in university, because I went to university here, sombe, hube, and then when like I was the first year, and I was a bit older than the people I went to university. The year I entered
Uh-huh.
university, I was 2 years older than most of them. So they were like, "Oh, Nuna, Oni," and I was fine. And they're like, some of them are asking, in foreign countries, like you don't have that kind of Kenyom, like
Uh-huh.
yes. And then, but when they just treat me like they Kamal and they're young, I started feeling offended.
You're
I was
offended.
like,
Oh,
얘가
나한테
누나인데
조그만
왜
게.
그렇게 말해? 함부로 말해. 내가 누나인데. Well, because I also felt like my age mates, they were speaking to them in a respectful way. And then I understood. I'm like, if you're talking to me in Korean, you should treat
Uh-huh.
me like a nuna or 언니.
Oh,
But if
okay.
you're using English, we can go there because there is no that kind of thing. I kept
That's right.
feeling offended the way they talk Panmal to me. It's like they're downgrading, and I was like, okay, is this how Koreans feel?
Exactly. 어린 게
Yeah,
어디서 반말이야.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, I was like, okay, now I get it. Like now I'm like, and then they're like, "Oh, Tajine, you're like Korean." 한국 사람 다 됐어. Said there was this girl, and then when she was just talking Panmal, 언니 안녕. I was like, 몇 살이야? How old
No
are you?
way.
She's like
Did
7 years younger.
너
I
몇
was like,
살인데 안녕 그래?
I feel like we're not even that close. Why do you start just speaking to me? It went so deep. So I came to grasp that very later, and
Mm.
there is a way. It's so deep. I don't know how to
Yeah.
express it.
Sometimes I guess sometimes when you are 언니, it's even closer than a friend because 언니 takes
Yeah,
care of you, 언니 cares
yeah,
about you, 언니 loves you, and 언니 will have your back, right? Rather than
yes,
just a
yes,
친구. That's
yeah.
interesting.
It's
Yeah.
more reliable, and like according to that, everybody the way they take responsibility on you. Because
Mm,
for me, I'm grateful. I came very young because at that time I was just 18, so I
mm,
had a lot of omas, like mom, like
mm-hmm.
older ladies, just the age of
Want
my
to take
mom.
care of you. Yeah.
And yeah, and in my country, we have this culture where whoever is about your parents' age, you just call them mama, like Oma.
Yeah.
So,
Koreans too,
so
right?
yes, which is very interesting. Like those
Mm,
old ladies, and when I told them, like in my culture, oh yeah, you'll be like Talto Hana 생겼어. So
mm,
they're really a mother to me, and I
yeah.
think this is something which kept me
Mm,
going here in Korea
mm,
because they've been very supportive from my pastor at church, and he always say,
mm,
"Oh, she's just my daughter. She's like my daughter," and
mm,
he saw me when I was so young, and I've
mm,
been here like the same place for over the time. Like always they thank you like panchan and all that,
mm,
I always feel very well cared. But when you
yeah.
understand the way the relationships are here
Mm,
and you behave accordingly to your position in in that relationship, it's really amazing, and it's just a very beautiful and a different composition. You get to have a very harmonious, respectful pattern.
mm, yeah.
Mm.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even in America, like Korean culture and American culture is more, I guess American culture is more like African culture where we're all kind of friends, equal. But,
Yeah.
the Koreans here, they carry that hierarchy. But you're right. It doesn't just say, "Oh, I'm over you or above you," but we take the responsibility. When I'm your 언니 or I'm your 엄마, I take care of you kind of mentality.
We have a Tanzanian community as a
Hmm.
sombe and a oni. I always feel responsible to take
Yeah,
care of them, to teach
sure.
them some few things, or to
Mm,
just share with them my experience. 밥
mm.
사주고, like
밥
챙겨주고.
사주고. 맞아요.
Like,
밥 사주는 거 완전히 큰 거.
oh, imagine 여기 언니, like if you're a big 언니 살게 like they're always we like always like my Korean onnis or ommas who treat me,
Uh,
so I return the same love to those who
sure.
are like I feel responsible, like just
Mm,
to be grateful, like somebody really
mm,
took time to take care. They
mm,
call me like when they text me maybe in the morning when it's
mm,
winter. It's like you even though I've been here for so many years, winter is
mm,
still winter. It's like I
mm.
still don't also get grasp, like my body doesn't get used to that cold
Yeah.
weather.
It's
But
harsh too. Yeah.
yes,
Mm,
it's harsh. So always they send me like some of the ladies will be like, today, but I'm like so when I wake up, that warm message, today will be very
yeah.
cold, dress warmly. I
Yeah.
just send it to my like my young sisters
Yeah.
around, and like,
Yeah.
those kind of
Oh.
really small things, which are really, it has really shaped me as well.
That's such a
Yes.
beautiful way to look at that. You know, as a Korean, we just take it for granted. So we just like, oh yeah, whatever. 귀찮아. 아, 또 잔소리하네. 이렇게 생각하는데 바깥에서 보면 that's such a beautiful way to have the relationship and connection with one another. Oh, thank you for that perspective. Yeah.
Yes. I know Koreans don't express always like, I love you, 사랑해. Like in the Western culture, it's more easier people to express, oh, I love you, take care, love you when you talk with your parents and all that. But I think Koreans, their love is into day-to-day actions. Like they
Yeah.
care, 밥 먹었어? 춥다, 덥지? Like those kind
맞아.
of small
Yeah.
expressions, they really
맞아요.
take care and hold.
That's so true. When I see like Korean media these days, there are so many like Black people from America, Africa, I mean, all over the world. And they speak Korean so well. I'm like, they speak better than I do, literally. But how is it really day to day living as a, away from your work because you're understood there, away from your church because they know you, but just in like everyday living, how is that as a Black woman in Korea?
Actually, at first, for me, it was difficult because I felt that time there are not many Black people in Korea. Like the understanding, like I met people that like, you're the first Black person I've ever met. So they're wondering about my hair, how we treat my hair. Actually, that was the most difficult because people would want to touch my hair, people
Oh,
would
wow.
want to touch my forehead. Why is it so like it's just skin? So people had a lot of curiosity. At first, I felt offended, and I didn't feel injunctible, but I felt these people are ignorant about other cultures and they have never been exposed to a multicultural way and they have never met Black people before because these, what kids usually get curious, they'll be straight like, let's say I remember when I came, I was in the home class, maybe I never see any Black in that home class near, it's a big shopping
Market,
mart, and
yeah.
a kid sees me, oh my, like the mother will close the mouth, but sometimes you'll see adults as well, they're very surprised and they
Yeah.
cannot keep to themselves, and some will try to like reach out and say, oh, where are you from? And maybe they're curious, like, can I touch your skin or stuff like that? And some of them were really scared. So at that time, I really felt like Korea did not have an understanding or like that much open to other cultures, people who are very different from them. And it was a very hard time, a little bit hard, difficult. You might sit on the train and nobody will sit next to you because they're scared. I don't know what they were thinking, but things have
Right.
changed with now, like with the social media. I remember during that time there were some programs like Minyo Drusuda, which gathered foreigners together, and
Yeah.
that really inspired me to learn Korean because I wanted to go to on that show.
All right,
And
right.
to introduce my country. So those kind of the government, I think the media, a lot of people made a lot of efforts to understand foreigners. So nowadays you rarely like experience such a thing in Korea. And they just treat me like I really don't feel like chabyol, injong chabyol, like a person will
Really?
be like, oh, because you're Black, because you're African, like when it comes with my safety or what, I've never felt that way. And especially for me, I went to a school, I was the only African student. So everybody was like, Shingi, how did you come here? Everybody was coming to me. I remember like my first 2 semesters, I rarely bought food because everybody was buying, giving, meeting, like people wanted to get to know me and be friends.
Yeah.
And well, how did you come to
Aw.
Korea? Like they had a lot of curiosity. So I felt like Korea was being in Korea as a foreigner, if you know the language and you adapt the environment, then they take you as one of them. So for me, life is very easy because the moment maybe I go to the market and then I try, maybe the ladies will be a little bit afraid because they don't speak English. I was like, oh, yes, oh, 한국말 해? And then the moment I speak, and they even give me like more, like because you're good in Korea, I'll add one more thing, and they have that kind of.
Yeah.
So for me, like on a daily to daily basis, really, I feel like I always tell people Korea has become a second home to me, and it's very safe and peaceful. Even like I know, like my dongne, I live like in an area where it's mostly Koreans. You rarely meet Black people. You might meet once in a while, and maybe in Pyeongjong or like the nearby mud. And some of the sellers usually ask, "Oh, these days I don't see you, Barashi," and they have my membership number. They remember it. I'm like, so it just feels home for me. And Tanzania in Korea is known for Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is well known than the country itself because there is Jo Young-pil, a famous musician.
노래, right?
Song. Yes, the leopard of Kilimanjaro, Kilimanjaro Pyobom. But now with the incoming of a lot of foreigners, like Korea has branded itself with K-pop, K-drama. Everybody wants to come in and learn and get whatever opportunities are here. So I feel Koreans are now more open to other cultures and they try to really understand foreigners, but also they are also into going outside. Also, they travel, they get more exposure about different cultures as well. And in schools, I remember as a student, they had this program of foreign students. We could go to elementary schools, middle schools, introduce your country and your culture just to make them like global citizens. Like they have
cool.
global citizen programs, but the cities like Seoul, they have a global friendship fair, which gathered a lot of countries. There is food booths from different countries, and a lot of Koreans come to experience and learn other culture. So I feel it is more open now to understand different cultures, but also to live in harmony with other cultures. So the moment they understand you, it's really not about racism. It's more about ignorance about other cultures, of not knowing. When you don't know each other, you all have like your own stereotypes about these. Maybe they'll be like this, or will be like that. So trying to explain Africa is a continent with 54 countries, and each country has a different political situation. Wars are not everywhere. Hunger is not everywhere. Where I come, people have life. We have big cities. We have cars. We go to school. We do things. And that was like most of the things I had really to explain and let them understand. But now I think because of the social media and the internet, we live like one village, so it's more easier for Korean people also to see for themselves, but it's easier to travel and experience.
That's great. I'm so glad to see that. And you're right. I think, we tend to like only look from our perspective, like, oh, they don't understand. They all think we're all like same country, China, Korea, and Japan. But then you're right. We don't know from the other side of the world. We don't know about Africa. We think, oh, it's just a big African continent. It's one country and it's same everywhere. But yeah, it is not. Very, very interesting. Are you single?
Yes, I'm single.
Okay. So may I ask you, you don't need to answer if you don't feel like it, but how is dating in Korea? You don't need to answer if you don't want to.
Actually, I don't know. Like, I have like harder when it comes to dating life. I see a lot of even foreigners like they say, oh, life here when it comes to dating, it's more of work.
Work? Really?
Like, no, it's not much. Like, it depends. But from my experience, like, I've not like dated a Korean guy or stuff like that. And I feel it's like it's not easy like the way our cultures, I think they're different, but
Mm,
the openness also of Korean guys like dating maybe a black woman, let's say for ourselves, like usually I think they have, though these days I feel there is more open-mindedness
mhm,
than before. Because I remember like people used to ask me, are you open to getting married or like having a relationship with a Korean guy? I was like,
mhm,
yes, I'm open, but i
mm,
i i felt like, yeah, Korean guys really, maybe they really care maybe about a lot. Like I had one friend who has been to Tanzania. He's Korean. He was like, like, let me be honest, people can date, but when it comes to marriage, you're the one leading the lineage. Still, the
mm,
families are not open to this and all that, like to a different culture, especially Africa. So, and I was like, okay, I came to understand to that point, but
mhm,
yeah, it's not, I feel like, I don't know how to say, but also I do understand now Korea is facing low birth rates. People are very individualistic. They feel it's like a burden to be in a relationship with another person, take responsibility. Like the
in
young people and
general,
people
yeah,
around. Yeah, so like for people who, like for me who I've stayed long, I feel like, oh, maybe that's sometimes it's the reason, or it's kind of, I don't know how to say, it's kind of tricky when it comes
yeah,
to that part.
yeah. I would imagine that your dating pool is pretty small.
Oh,
When you
yes,
think
yes.
about this and that, Koreans,
Uh,
Africans, of course. Does your
yeah.
mom is it your culture for your moms to say, "보라, 언제 결혼해?" Things like that? Because
Actually,
Koreans do.
yeah, actually, Koreans really have a lot of pressure of saying that. They also always tell me, like, you'll find some people even at church, you're like, they're now like discover, 여기 오래됐네. 이제 그럼 나이 먹지 않았어? 니네 나라 가면 너 청년 아니야? Like they ask me, are you not 청년? I'm
No,
like,
전혀.
oh. Like, oh my God. There was a time I felt really offended. I said, introduce me to someone then. Why are you always asking me? Like I said, "So she can't just say, and then they're like, okay, now like nobody asked me, but there was a time people really, my parents really do not ask me or put any
Okay,
pressure on me, and
that's
like
good.
people, yeah, we believe like people have different timings with
Mm,
dating and all that. And I remember when I was in university, I was just very focused on my life, like
mm,
school, my grades, like maintaining my scholarship. So I saw some few guys who were interested, and I was kind of interested, but I was like not sure where will this take us. So I was not interested in like
mhm,
exploring
mhm,
relationship or something. So, but with time, I'm like, okay, things have changed, and like when it comes to the reality after school, like meeting people, the pool
mm,
gets smaller, and
yeah,
so it's
harder.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, so things are just very different out here, but people keep on asking, and sometimes my fellows say, "Oh, if you're in Tanzania, you should have been like you might have met somebody already. Why don't you
Mm,
like come home and stay longer?" Sometimes people
mm,
like jokingly say that, but it's I'm more a believer of like everything has its own timing, and like people, we have a different timeline of events and happening
yeah.
in life, and what is meant to be for me it will be like in its own beautiful time. So I'm in a season where I would love to meet someone and uh, be in love and start a family,
Mm.
as well as I'm not like more of, yeah, it's that's what I can say for now.
Dating is so rough. I feel like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's more rougher these days than before. When I was little, I had this dream to go to Europe and go to Africa. So I've been to Europe many,
Mm.
many, many times. probably all of the countries, but I have never been to Africa. I really want to go one day.
We
That's
could
like,
go together, especially Tanzania. There is so much
yes.
to see. We have beautiful nature. We have also like Zanzibar Island, where it's so beautiful. It's like
Oh,
Maldives, and it
oh,
has more cleaner beaches. Like
mm,
also, you can go to like the Serengeti, mighty Serengeti,
mm,
whereby it is one of the seven wonders of the world. Also,
right.
it's a natural UNESCO heritage where you could see animal migrating naturally. I'd love to take you to Tanzania.
You know, when you say pale pale is slow, slow in Swahili,
Pole pole.
pole
Yes.
pole, it sounds like pali pali, right?
Right, but it's
But
very opposite.
very opposite meaning. That is so,
Yeah.
I think that really tells us a lot about both cultures, you know,
Mm.
whereas Korea is efficiency driven, but pale pale means slow, slow, enjoy life, embrace the moment. So I could imagine for you, those are like totally opposite concept of about life, right?
Mm.
Do you first? Do you identify you as yourself as a Tanzanian Korean, like we do as Korean American? What do you say?
A lot of people, like even like work, people usually introduce, oh, she's like Korean, Tanzanian. Like they usually joke, I think you speak better Korean than your own language, Swahili. But I'm like, I feel I'm both. I do have a huge understanding of Korean. I feel
Mm,
I'm really Tanzanian as well. Like, your identity. I had lived for 18 years and I came here. I knew myself. I was like just into adulthood because back home, when you're 18, they count you
right.
as an adult. You
Mm-hmm.
can really live on your own and do
Mm,
things. And even for women, like long time ago, like it's the legal age to get married and all that. So you are counted as a capable, like full
mm-hmm.
adult. So for me, when I came at that age, I already like I knew I'm a Tanzanian. Though
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bit of identity crisis when I was in university because I felt like there was a time which like because as I said, I was the only African in that university, and a lot of my friends and people expected me to know more about Korea. And I was like,
Mm,
you guys, you don't understand me where I come from, why I do things like this. Why are you blaming me for not doing like in that is a Korean way. I
yeah.
have a way of life I have come
Mm,
with for how can I just throw overnight
mm,
because I'm here? And so I had that big moment and which I really discussed with my close best friends and because they were trying like we wish you had known better about this and that, like Korean, you cannot say this, you cannot say. I said, but in my culture it doesn't mean anything when you say this or that. And
mm,
so I really felt that time like I had to sit them down. I'm like, you know, have you ever even taken efforts to learn or understand where I come from, my culture, or what? And I'm really doing a lot of effort. I think sometimes you're asking for too much from me when it comes
mm.
to this. I wish you
Good
understand me
point.
if I'm not doing exactly like the way Koreans are
Mm,
doing because I can never be Korean. I really
mm,
understood that and I really embrace my culture and I
mm-hmm.
really, as you just mentioned, I feel like I can be a bridge on understanding living in harmony and just accepting both the beautiful sides of our culture. We have so
Mm,
much things we can share, but also the good thing Tanzania and Korea also carry a lot of similarities,
mm,
like the respect for adults, shodo. We do a lot of like, so even for me, it was not a huge difference. I didn't have huge culture shock because we have a lot of
mm.
similarity as well. So
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that time, but after that, I really identify myself. Yes, I am a Tanzanian, and this is something I cannot remove myself out of it. And I visit my family like at least once a year, and for them, they know me as a Tanzanian, though my father, sometimes they joke, "You're Koreanized." To Koreans, I'm still a foreigner. I cannot,
Right.
yeah, though sometimes they say, "Ije 한국 사람 다 됐어," like you became like a Korean, but there is like the huge part of me is still Tanzanian. So I cannot say myself like maybe I'm Tanzanian, Korean, Korean, Tanzanian, but
So Tanzanian living in Korea. You know,
yes.
for Korean Americans or Asian Americans, yeah, that's that identity crisis about, wait a minute, like, where do I really belong is a huge question. And I think once you get to a point, oh, I'm both. I could be both. You know, like I embrace both part of who I am. So yeah, that's a very important and critical realization.
Mm.
And then you become more comfortable about
Yes,
who you
that's so
are.
true. Yes,
Yeah,
so true. And I
right.
do understand that I have gotten a lot, Korea has a lot of influence on me. So I don't get offended if my Tanzanian people be like, "Oh, you're too much Korean. You like Korean. You're just like Korean." I'm like, yeah, it's both part of, it's my life. I call
Yeah,
Korean a second home, and my
yeah.
first home is Tanzanian. It will always
Uh-huh.
be Tanzania. And I embrace both to these beautiful countries, and I'm grateful I'm part of both. These two
Mm,
cultures have really shaped me where I come from and where I am at this moment. It's
yeah.
like I'm really blessed to be able
Mm,
to experience the world at large, like embracing the Korean culture and Tanzanian culture every day.
mm,
It has helped me to be flexible. When with Tanzanian, my Tanzanian part comes out, and when I have to be in a situation like Korea, they have this word macho junda, like macho justice, like how you fit in both sides. I feel I
mm.
can fit in accordingly to the situation in both sides.
So it's very interesting. It's always good to know. Are you planning on staying in Korea for a while, or what do you think? What is your plan?
As I said, Korea is a second home to me. I still see myself. I'll be going in between. It's something I cannot get away from. As I said, I've lived here 17 years. So if I stay maybe 2 more years, I'll be like Ban. I have lived half of my life in Tanzania, half of my life in Korea.
Right.
Maybe if I might stay longer in Korea. I still see myself here. So
Mm,
I don't know what the future holds, but I'm always open, and maybe I'll meet somebody here and get married too. You
yeah,
never know,
yeah,
like
right.
how long will time, but yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, tell me one thing that you love about Tanzania and one thing you love about Korea.
Wow.
Just one.
I will say the people for both.
Mm,
Yeah. One thing I love about Tanzania, the way our society is connected. As a Tanzanian who lived in Korea, like wherever we are, like as I said, Tanzania is a very diverse country with so many tribes, so many languages, and so many culture. Regardless of the tribe, when we meet here in Korea, we are all Tanzanians. We live like sisters and brother, like people from the
mm-hmm.
same family. I have met so many Tanzanian people who came here after me, even who received me, and they took me like part of their family. We have gotten like a very close relation. Whenever we have problems, we share with each other, we help each other, we laugh together, we visit each other's home, we cook, we have that community life that which is really good. And I feel that is what has kept me going as it is. I at the beginning I had a lot of homesickness, but with the community here, the support system of my fellow Tanzanians who live here has been a very strong pillar for me. So that's the thing I like about Tanzania. And the same with Korea. I really love, like Korea has a concept of jong,
Mm-hmm.
and also in Tanzania we also have jong. Like
Mm,
jong, I will call it in maybe Swahili we call it utu. Like we that being just humanly loving and all that, it's something which I love about Korea,
mm,
and the how Korean people have a lot of jong, and that
mm-hmm.
is something very huge. I love the people of Korea, and I'm grateful for like people I have met in my life here in Korea.
Mm.
Koreans have been so kind, so warm. They took me as part of them, and especially at my church, and people I relate with, like people I met at school. Like, I really love it, and I'm really grateful for that.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm. Thank you. 정, that's 우투.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? 보라 씨,
Yeah.
like
제 한국 이름 주보라예요.
주보라 너무 예뻐요. Did you name yourself or who gave you that name?
I made it myself.
주보라. Oh wow. That's great. 너무 예뻐요, 이름. 주보라.
Thank you.
So, 왜 사람들 만나면 저는 주보라예요 이렇게 인사해요?
네. 네, 맞습니다. 한국 이름 주보라입니다.
보라 씨.
네네네.
보라 씨가 그 한국 사람들에 대해서 얘기하는 거, you know how you describe Korean people? 내가 들으니까 I feel so proud to be Korean heritage. You're right. Such good people, you know, with a lot of 정, 우투.
Yes.
Wonderful. How beautiful. 보라 사무실이 어디예요?
서울의 명동.
아, 명동. 바쁜데.
맞아요. 거기 외국인 엄청 많아요.
엄청.
네네네.
엄청. 와우. 거기 막 그 명동 그 사거리 거기는 정말 다 중국 사람들도 정말 많더라고요. Chinese tourists.
맞습니다.
그죠? 그래요?
엄청 주말 되면 완전히 사람 버글버글.
명동은 걷지도 못해. 너무 사람 많아가지고.
그래서 그냥 딱 퇴근하고 바로 인천으로 빨리 달려와요.
서브웨이 타고 집에 가자.
네네네.
정말 last question이에요. Okay. 보라 씨, your favorite K-food, Korean food, K-drama, and K-pop.
So I usually love just the old songs I used to listen before, like 트로트. 딴딴딴딴딴 당신은 향한 나의 사랑은 무조건이야. Those kind of old. When I was learning to, yeah, I like trotted like that. That is really, and also I like pansori.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes. And for Korean drama, I like makchang drama.
What is
makchang? Like, how do you?
makchang? Oh, food. Oh.
No. Drama. No? They call it makchang drama. Like, you know, you understand me now?
makchang?
Like
makchang drama.
Those with they're like fighting with the in-laws and all this. Those kind of dramas, I usually get like, oh.
You get a good laugh out of it?
Like
drama.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite actor?
I have few I like. I used to like a B.
Oh, P. Rain. Okay.
Yes. Yes, but also like Park Seo-joon.
Park Seo-joon.
You know Park Seo-joon? He came out
so.
like Itaewon Class. I think also Secretary Kim, even Park Bo-gum, I like him, and and
you like 꽃미남?
Jo In-sun, Yeonbin oppa.
현빈?
Yes, you know Hyunbin?
Yes, I'm a fan.
I usually call him Hyunbin oppa.
He's very handsome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Korean food to eat?
Wow.
What's your go-to?
I really love Korean food and I eat almost everything, but I love pyohaejanguk. That is one of, it really suits me. You know, like Koreans, you usually eat hot soup and they're like, 시원해. I know how it feels. I know that shiwane in my stomach. How
you do.
The warmth makes my stomach feel so good. Oh, shiwane. I always feel that way when I eat pyohaejanguk. Hanu, it's really my favorite. Hope when you come to Korea, let's go for a Korean
Let's
barbecue. I would
do.
love to meet you if you happen to come to Korea.
Yeah,
Korean
yeah.
barbecue is
I
also
will,
one
yeah.
of my
Let's
favorite.
do
I
it.
love it.
Oh my God, you're so funny. I think your family's right. You're so Korean.
I cannot deny I'm so Korean.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're like Korean down to your bones. Wonderful. Oh, that was so funny. Well, I love chatting with you, Purashi, Debbie.
Thank you. It was quite a great pleasure as well just to share with you, talk to you. It's really nice. Just speaking freely, it really brings out, oh, okay, there was this side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the wonderful part about having a open conversation with someone. Like you really learn about the other person, but yourself as well, you know?
Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being such a great ambassador for Tanzania and Korea.
Thank you so much.
Take 1.5 listeners, please follow and subscribe to our channel to share more stories like this. It really matters to us. And we had a wonderful conversation with 주보라 씨. 한국에 사시는 주보라 씨와 너무 좋은 대화 나눴습니다. 감사합니다.